we are recording.
Awesome.
And if you guys have questions, feel free to put them in the comments if you have things that you want to know.
Yes, so there's going to be a chat button for you to, have post your questions or any concerns that you have. But we are just going to run with it right now. So the program today is, obviously, if you don't know her or if you've never seen her, she's our top dog or she's our team lead. But really, okay. She's Kelsey Thornton, and I'm going to give her, obviously she's like our special guest today, and I'm going to basically like do a Q&A with her, but like I said, you guys are more than welcome to post on the chat, if you have any questions that she can ask, like this is your time, okay? So definitely take advantage of it. But yeah, Kelsey, I feel like there are a lot of other new faces here who don't know your story. And I just wanted you to kind of like introduce yourself and just kind of, I do want you to point out about your first paycheck, how you dealt with adversity and with like the non-believers and like, what really like brought you into starting this journey.
Yeah. Well, hey guys, I'm super excited to chat with you. For me, you guys, I knew nothing about this business when I was freaking getting started. Okay. I literally felt like, what did I do after I hit the submit button? Like, you guys, I literally thought I was going to throw up because I was like, did I just waste $99 on this? I didn't know anything about anything. I had never known anybody to do a business like this. And I had never really seen people be successful besides the girl that I signed up with. I had seen some people fail, to be honest with you. And so I wasn't really sure, but what I was sure about was that whatever I was doing at that point wasn't getting me to where I wanted to go. And that's all I knew for sure. And so I was almost willing to try anything because I think that, I forgot who said it, but somebody said it where it's like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And I really feel like at that point in my life, that's what I was doing is I was like, well, if I want to be in some spot different from 5 years from now, if I want my life to look different, I'm going to have to do something different. Right. And so for me, when I joined for $500, you guys, I was like, $500, like, would make a big difference in our life. Like $500 would mean that my husband wouldn't ask me about why I spent $150 to get my hair done or what it cost me, $100 to get my eyebrows waxed and to get my nails done. Okay. Like these things. And, one thing that I really encourage you to do, which was really helpful for me at the beginning, is figure out like, okay, why did you join? So my surface level, why I joined was to get my hair and my nails done and have extra cushion money, right? Play money, if you will. But Erin, the girl I signed up with, she encouraged me. She said, I want you to ask yourself why 5 times. I was like, well, that seems dumb, right? That seems really dumb. But she started saying like, okay, so you said you wanted to join for hair and nail money, but why is that important to you? And I said, I wanted to join for hair and nail money because honestly, I just had my daughter. She was 4 or 5 months old when I started, and I felt like crap about myself. I was a college athlete and I had like a body at one point, and I was like, this ain't the body that I'm used to seeing in the mirror. And so my confidence was low. Right? My confidence was low. And so me getting my hair and my nails done would allow me to feel a little bbit prettier. Okay. And so that was important to me. Well, why was that important to me? Well, because I really kind of cared about what I looked like. And, I was like, we were newly married. We got pregnant 6 months after we were married. And so I didn't want to be like, all of a sudden just let myself go after I got married. And it was important to me, right? My mom had always kept herself up. Like she still works out to this day. And so for me, it was deeper than that. And so, okay, well, why was that important to me? So I kept asking myself, okay, well, why was that important to me? That was important to me because I wanted to have a healthy marriage. Like I didn't want to feel so insecure that I didn't want my husband to see me in the bedroom, right? I didn't want to, and I'm probably telling you guys more than you really care to know, but my whole point in saying this is you guys have to think about why you truly joined. And this might be in the subconscious part of your mind. Like you might not have even thought about this consciously, but when you start digging to those deeper levels of truly why you joined this business and really what it could do for you, like the reality of what it could do for you is going to set in. Because that's what happened to me when I started digging deep, and I was like, oh my gosh, well, this is important to me because I never really, when I was growing up, we weren't like rich by any means, but my parents never made me feel stressed about money. Okay. I felt like I didn't have to worry about where the gas money was going to come from as long as I was keeping my grades up, because my parents kind of had me covered. They didn't want me to stress about money. I got a used car for my first car, but I got a car, right? Not a lot of people get a car. And I didn't have payments on it. And it was like my mom's old car or something. And so I didn't want ever my kids to feel any financial stress. Okay. And so, but I didn't even know, you guys, that was a thing. I had no idea that was a reason why I truly wanted to do this business, because it was buried so deep under all of those questions, right? And so if you grew up the opposite of me and you didn't get crap, okay, because that's how my husband grew up. He literally got one pair of shoes for the whole year. He slept on floors. They didn't have like a house for like the first couple years of his life. They were like apartment to apartment with his mom. She was just trying to make ends meet. And he's the opposite. He's like, I didn't have anything, so that's why I'm going to work hard to provide everything for my kids. Okay, so no matter which end of the spectrum that you fall on, do you want to recreate the upbringing that you had, or do you want to go the opposite way of the upbringing that you had? Or do you want to pull from both? Right? Was there some parts of your upbringing that you like and then some parts that you didn't? Because you get to control that, right? And so for me, when I did that digging, I was like, holy crap, like this is a lot deeper than hair and nail money. Okay. And I encourage you guys to really get to the core of why is this and this extra money important? Because money is not really the important thing. It's what the money allows you to do. Okay. Like nobody joins and they're like, yep, I just want to be a millionaire because I want to see $1 million in the bank account. No. People want to be a millionaire because they want to have the freedom to do with the things that they want to do and the things that are important to them. And guess what? They want to pay people to do the things that they don't like to do, right? If you don't like to clean like me, I want to pay somebody to clean my house, okay? So figure out, why, and dream bigger, you guys. That was something that I said $500 at the beginning, you guys, because I was scared to say anything bigger, because if I said something bigger and I didn't get it, that means that I failed, and that's scary, right? So if there is a number that has keep popping into your mind, like $1,200, $5,000, $15,000 a month, honor that and recognize it and say it out loud and speak it into the universe and speak it into existence. Okay. Because there is so much power in that. Like when I started seeing $500, I was just saying $500 because it sounded good. Like $500. It was like a safe amount. Okay. But when I got in and I saw people making $25,000 a month, I was like, if this girl can do that, then what the heck is stopping me? Okay. And that's something that I really want you guys to ask yourself. Do you really only want to make $500? Or is there something bigger out there that could truly change your life? And you're not saying it because you don't think you're worthy of it. Okay. Because it is not like you don't have to live in debt. Just because your friends are doesn't mean you have to. You don't have to just have student loans for the rest of your life. Just because your friends are and they only have $60,000 in credit card debt, but you have $30,000 and you're making yourself feel better for that, that's still $30,000 in debt. So get honest with yourself about what's okay and don't just make it relative, right? Because you're going to be the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Okay. And I swear I did this exercise with my husband, you guys, because he was like, you say all this cheesy crap when you're talking on these Zooms. And I was like, nope, let's do it. Let's do it. I want to see if this is true for you. And so we did it, and we listed his 5 best friends, the 5 people he talked to the most. And I made him like guess, like he didn't know all of them exactly, but like guess like the average income for each of his friends. And he literally was within like $3,000 of the income of the average income of his friends. And I was like, I told you. And listen, this doesn't just apply for income. This applies for weight. I'm sure you have some friends that are a little bit bigger than you and friends that are a little bit smaller than you, and you probably fall somewhere on the spectrum. Okay, this applies for faith. You probably have some friends that are really faithful and really spirit led, and they inspire you with your religion. And then you probably have friends that aren't really religious at all and have no relationship. But you know why you do that is you're surrounding yourself with people that make you feel good. Okay, because if you're not the fattest, but you're not the skinniest, you're okay because you're somewhere in the middle, right? Or if you're not the richest, but you have more money than that person, then you can rationalize yourself and you can be comfortable in your situation. And so the reason I'm telling you guys all of this, which I don't even know why I got on this rant, but the reason why I'm telling you guys all of this is because I think it's important to know that, number one, the reason why you joined. That is super important to know, and dig deep and ask yourself why 5 times. Okay. The second thing that's important to know is maybe who you're surrounding yourself with is diminishing your potential. Just maybe. Maybe. It's just a thought. It could be, it could not be. If you're hanging out with a bunch of people who are way richer than you, then that's the goal. That's my goal. I'm trying to find people who have way more money than me because they know something that I don't, and I'm trying to figure it out. And so I don't even know where I was, but that's why I joined you guys. $500. I jumped in, not knowing anything about anything. I told Erin, the girl I signed up with, I said, I'm going to give you 6 months. I'm going to give you a good 6 months though. Like, I'm going to do whatever the heck you tell me to do. And I'm going to do it. And I'm going to be coachable. And I wasn't always coachable, but I'm going to be coachable. And I am going to, follow your lead, because if she was successful, then why wouldn't I, follow what she's doing? Success leaves clues. And so I got in not knowing anything. Like, I remember like freaking out when she wouldn't respond to me, because I was like, I don't know what to say to this. What the heck do I say to this? And literally I asked her like 40 million questions a day. I did not care if she thought I was annoying, because I was out here trying to get that paper, right? And so I was like, okay, so I need help. I need help. And so she would just help me. And I messed up, you guys. The first order I put in to the system was during BOGO wraps. We had BOGO wraps. And at the time, they didn't remove the regular order of wraps. So I accidentally put in the order of a one order. And the girl thought she was going to get BOGO, but I accidentally pressed the regular wrap and I put it in all wrong for my first customer. And you guys, I was almost in tears. Like, I suck at this business. Okay. Not only did it take me 3 weeks to get my first customer, the first customer I got, I put it in the system wrong. And it was just all bad. So anyways, I did that, and I failed so much, you guys, that I got better. Because when you fail, what happens is you learn, right? Failure is a way better teacher than success is. And so every single time that I failed, I got better and I got better and I got better and I got better, because I didn't point the blame at anybody else. I figured out I was doing something wrong. I needed to fix it and I needed to get better. And so I did, and I just learned, you guys. I copied and pasted so many posts. I remember Erin calling me one time and being like, hey, I don't mind that you copied and pasted my post, but you might want to change the phone number, because I had totally copied her phone number and forgot to change it. And so you guys, I made all the mistakes, I'm telling you. But that's the cool thing about the business, is it's so forgiving. Like, it forgives you. Like, you get to start over every single second and go to the next play, right? There's going to be days when you feel like you're going to have all this negative self-talk, and I've been there before, and you're going to say, oh, no wonder I didn't sign a customer, because I didn't get any of my crap that I should have done today. And you have all this talk going on in your head, and you feel like you're not worthy of it. And you're convincing yourself that you're not good at the business, when it doesn't take any skill to be good at this business. It doesn't take any skill at all. All it takes is your desire, your willingness to succeed, and your willingness to be coached, and your willingness to want to help people. Okay, that's all it takes, I promise you. And we can teach you the rest. It's like, I compare it to, like, my husband was a basketball coach. You could be the best coach in the world, but the players have to have a willingness to want to know how to play, right? you could be telling them the same thing you told LeBron James, but the difference is did LeBron James do it? Yeah, he did it. He listened. He kept going. He had a willingness to want to get better. Okay. You can't coach that. You can't coach that into somebody. That is something that comes with just that after something. Like, I know I joined after it was like the reality check of having a kid and getting over myself and feeling like this business was for people who couldn't get real jobs. Okay. So, you don't, the skills can be learned. Okay. The skills can be learned, but really it's just having that desire to succeed. So I got in, and then, I signed my first customer, and I was like, dang, if I can sign my first customer and get it right, then I can sign 1,000. If I can sign a distributor, then I can sign 1,000. And I realized it was just doing more of what I had already done and just finding more people to talk to and to share this business with. And so that's what I did. 4 months in, I went diamond, earned a $10,000 bonus. I got a $1,900 paycheck. I don't even actually remember what it was, but I got a $1,900 paycheck, and I was like, whoa. And I remember it was funny though, because I was always grateful for my paychecks. I always had a hunger to want more. Like, I was never comfortable with my paycheck. And even now I'm not like, oh, I'm done, I've arrived. Like, I don't feel that way, and I probably never will. But I feel like a paycheck is like an adult report card. Okay. So did it go up? Great. You're learning, you're headed in the right direction, and you're getting better. Or did it go down? Okay, maybe we need to adjust some things. And mine has done both. Let me tell you, this journey of mine is not like this. It was not like this. It was like, but I always have seen more and done more and learned from my mistakes. So my first paycheck, you guys, was $34. And if you guys were on the Zoom last night, I told them, I was like, if you would have thought that I literally made $3,400 or $34,000, because I seriously almost crapped my pants that I actually got paid. Like, I didn't know if I was really actually going to get paid. I still had that like doubt in my mind. So like, I don't know if any of you felt that way when you first joined, but you're like, I don't know if I'm actually going to be like getting a paycheck. Like, it sounds like I will be, but like, there's still that doubt in your mind where you're like, this is touch and go a little bit, but I'm still going to give it the benefit of the doubt. And so I did that. And I was like, it was just reassurance that like, this was legit. Okay. And so I was hyped off that $34. I could tell people I really started making real money. I felt so much more confident with the business, part of it. And so I just kept going, and I was excited. And I always say, you guys, a grateful heart, and I didn't know that back then, but a grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. Okay, let me say that again. A grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. Because what happens when you have a grateful heart is that if God knows he can trust you with a little bit, $34, and you're going to be grateful for it, and you're going to see the blessing in that $34, and you're not going to be greedy, and you're not going to be looking left and looking right about what this person's paycheck was or what this person's paycheck was, and you can be grateful for what you have, then he knows that he's going to be able to trust you with more. What do I say to people who aren't happy about their first paychecks? It's funny because I do really believe that people do join for like $300 to $500. And when they get $300 to $400 because they've seen the vision and they've seen other people make more, they're not happy with it because they want more, which is a good thing. So when people aren't happy with their paychecks, I always tell people, listen, that's a good thing. I would never want you to open your paycheck and be like, yep, I'm all set. I want to just chill here, right? I would never want or ask you to do that. But what I want you to realize and I want you to do is be grateful for what you have and recognize where you started and recognize where you are now. But the cool thing is look how much further we have to go. This is just the beginning, and this is the piece of the puzzle. But you can't start with a 10,000. You can't start with 1,000. You're not going to start with that. Now, some people might get $800 in fast starts, like their first check. Okay. But they put in a lot of freaking work, you guys. So you can't compare, you know, a $34,000 paycheck to your first one, but you also have to realize, like, if you're not grateful for what you are given, you're not going to get any more. Right? So there's this amazing book, and I really encourage you guys to get it. It's called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. It is the most powerful book besides the Bible that I've ever read. And what he talks about is whatever you like feel resentment or negative feelings towards, you will never have. And this was a big eye opener for me because, and when it really got me was like, you know, when you guys are like on the beach, well, most of you guys are in Hawaii, or a lot of you guys probably live near the beach, and you probably see all these little skinny bias that walk around and have like really awesome bodies, and they eat like fried chicken every day. Okay, I'm sure we all have those friends, and you're like, I sit here and I'm eating kale salad and I still don't have a body like that. This is annoying, right? And you're cursing these like beautiful people, right? And he said, like, you will never have that body if you curse it, right? Because what happens is that subconsciously your brain has negative feelings towards that. So it's not going to actually do that. So that's why you can't lose the 10 pounds. That's why you're not getting, because when you do see that body, what you should say is, bless that body. Like, that girl must have worked so hard, or bless that body. She is all that stuff. So that was an eye opener for me, because I've seen so many people, curse and like make snide remarks about people who have a lot of money. Oh, that person's really greedy, or, oh, this person must have screwed somebody over to get that money, or, oh, this person, you know, like if you see somebody at the big house, oh, they must have won the lottery. It's like, can't somebody just have worked hard to get that money? Can't somebody could just have helped a lot of people to get that money? And so I want you guys to really think about, like, what is your mindset when it comes to true wealth? When you see somebody who cut you off in a Mercedes, is the first thing you think of that rich prick? Because I've been there. Okay. So if that is, why is that different than the other person who cut you off that doesn't have a Mercedes? And I don't, and it's like something that's trained in our brain. So what I want you to do is, I want you to, anytime you see something that's like positive, or you see somebody who apparently has a lot of money, just like by the vibes you're giving off, be like, oh my gosh, that person must have helped so many people, and start thinking very positive about that stuff. So if you're not happy about your paycheck, and you're looking at somebody else's paycheck and you're getting resentment towards that person, or you feel some type of way about that person's paycheck, you have to check your motive. Like, you have to check your heart. You have to check your intention and really see, you know, what is it that is causing that negativity in myself? Okay. Because if you truly saw the vision of this company, you guys, this is just the beginning. If you're in your first couple months and you're not satisfied with your paycheck, that is way different than being mad about your paycheck. Okay. I am not satisfied with my paycheck, and I made a lot of money. I made the most money I've ever made. Okay. In my life, but I'm not satisfied because I know there's more lives to change. I know this is just the beginning for our team. I know that anything that I do is helping change so many more lives. It's not just about me at this point. And so I encourage you guys to step back and give this business a year. Give it 6 months, you guys, but work hard for that 6 months and bust your butt, and don't care about what your paycheck is until you open your eyes on the 6th freaking month. And I swear, if you put your head down, you get to work, you put your blinders on, you will be amazed at what your paycheck can be when you start focusing on how many people you can help versus how can people help me. Okay, let's see. There's another question. What do you say to people who don't really have doubt in their mind, but just aren't feeling the business? They believe in the business, but don't really feel like it's something for them anymore. Okay. So I think that there's a couple ways to answer this question, because I don't know how to say this without like sounding rude, but I think sometimes that can be a cop out. Okay. Sometimes that can be a cop out for like an excuse for you not being where you want to be and being too lazy to put in the work. And I'm not saying you, to Kiana, who, cause I know that I'm not saying it to you. I'm just saying it to anybody. I always tell people, if you're going to stop the business, stop while you're at the top and not while you're at the bottom. Okay. Because if you're stopping while you're at the top, it's not a pride issue. It really is a lack of like, maybe you're bored or maybe it's an interest thing or whatever. But if you're stopping while you're at the bottom, it's because you're too proud to admit that you're not where you want to be when you wanted to be there. But I also know that God doesn't like put you in situations. He doesn't bring you this far to just bring you this far. Right. And so a lot of times I really start to dig deep with people and ask really like really deeper questions, instead of saying, well, why, like just asking like, why don't you feel the business anymore or whatever? Like I start asking like, well, what do you want to do? Okay. What about the business do you love? And what about the business don't you love? Because to me, there's parts of the business that I don't like, if I'm being honest with you. Like if I could, I would literally not want to message at all. Okay. But guys, it's part of it. It's learning how to talk to people, because I know when I message, what that brings me to is the building of the relationships. Because if I didn't message people, I wouldn't have anybody to build a relationship with. But I love building relationships and I love talking to people and I love developing people. And I love when I can help somebody see the worth and see how God truly sees them, because that's fulfilling to me. Okay. Messaging isn't fulfilling to me. And so when I start to feel like, okay, why am I like not having fun right now? It's because I am doing, more of things that like don't fulfill me and less of things that do fulfill me in the business, and pouring in, like I love pouring into people. So like doing Zooms and stuff, like even though you guys think that I'm helping you, like this is stuff that actually fills my cup. Okay. And stuff that gets me fired up. And so I think that it really comes down to, because it's not that, oh, I just don't like this business, right? You can, but because there's so many aspects to the business, but what part of the business aren't you liking, and how can we work around that to get you to do more of what you do like and maybe less of what you don't? Okay. Does that make sense? Hopefully that helped. Okay. Annie, do you have any more questions? I know I just like talked a lot.
No, you're good. Everyone, I know you're meant to be on mute, okay, for the reason that there's no like background. But if you have questions that you want Kelsey to answer, there's a chat bar there that you can like type, and then she can, answer. But I wanted to ask you about, how do you deal with the no's, like mindset wise, and like what is your motivation that kind of keeps you stepping over it or getting rid of like that no of being rejected?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep. So one thing that I want to tell you is that if I wrote down, I was like journaling the other day, and I want to read some of this stuff to you because it's good. Okay. So if you don't listen to Steve Harvey, you should start, because he is amazing. And there is a book called Jump. It's a super easy read. It's not like one of those like things where you have to like read and underline and highlight, because it's a very easy read. But he talks about how the dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately. Right? So everybody wants to dream, but if you want that to be your reality, you have to keep going, and you have to learn how to like hustle a little bit. And when I say hustle, you guys, I do not mean slave away. Okay. Because if anybody has told you that you have to grind, or you have to like work so hard to exhaustion and like miss all these moments with your family, and just no, that's not what you have to do. You guys, I don't do that. Okay. So success does not always have to be hard. Okay. It does not. I'm telling you, there are going to be challenges, of course, but it doesn't have to be hard. Making money doesn't have to be hard, you guys. I don't work as hard as some people who work like in a factory or work on a railroad or work anything like that, but I make way more money than them. Because making money, the harder you work doesn't always necessarily mean the more money that you make, right? I'm sure you know a lot of people who work really hard and are still poor as hell. Okay. And it just matters, what are you working at? What are you working for? Right? What are you investing your time in? Is it a good investment of your time, or is it a not so good investment of your time? Okay. And so this business is one of those things where if you are working it properly, it is a great investment of your time because you keep getting paid for something that you did one time. Okay. Like if, if you're building properly, you will keep getting paid for something that you did over and over and over and over and over, right? Now, I will tell you this analogy has helped me. A girl did a video once and she said, are you a coin pusher or are you an entrepreneur? Okay. And she started talking about what a coin pusher is kind of how we're all trained is, you know, you go to work and you get paid kind of like the coin that you put in the horse or a ride or something at like the store. You put the quarter in and the horse goes back and forth. You put the quarter in and the horse goes back and forth. Put the quarter in, the horse goes back and forth, right? We go to work and we get paid, and we go to work and we get paid, and we go to work and we get paid, right? That's like how our minds are trained and what jobs are today in society. But as an entrepreneur, it's different because you aren't a coin pusher, because you have a vision that's bigger, right? It's not just, I'm going to show up at work and I'm going to get paid one time. And I'll never get anything more than what I just got paid. Okay. But as an entrepreneur, you're going to work and 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 you're going to get paid a little bit. And then you're going to work and 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 you're going to get paid a little bit. And then you're going to work and you're going to work and you're going to work and you're going to get paid. And then you're going to work and you're going to work and you're going to get paid. And then you're going to work and get paid. And then you're going to work and then you're going to get paid and 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 get paid. Okay. So when you see that vision, that is what an entrepreneur is, right? Is because I work very similar. I mean, I talk to more people and I have like little bit more things going on, but like there's only 24 hours in a day. So I don't really feel like I'm working that much harder than I did when I was going Ruby. Okay. And I say that to tell you that that is the power, but my paycheck is whatever 30, like 10,000, what is that? 1,000 times more than what my first paycheck was. Okay. And I'm not saying that to like brag, but I'm saying that to tell you like, you can do this if you stick with it. Okay. Another thing that he said, never give up, because God is waiting for you to pass the test, but you have to stay in order to pass it. Okay. It said, keep putting one foot in front of the other. Even if you don't know the way, it's not your job to know the way. It's your job to keep stepping. Okay. And I think where a lot of people get into trouble, and this kind of answers Nana's question about when was the first time I ever wanted to quit, is when I started overwhelming myself and getting in my own head and listening to the wrong people, because I started to think, oh, is this paying off? Is this all going to be worth it? And I took a step back and I got really overwhelmed for, holy crap, how do I go from Ruby to Diamond? And I would just get really overwhelmed when I looked at like the big picture of things. And I looked at that part of it, because I was like, I'm going to throw up, like looking at that diamond chart. I'm literally going to throw up. And instead, what I decided to do is literally just keep doing the next right thing for my business, and keep putting one foot in front of the other and just doing the next right thing and the next right thing. It's kind of like if you think about being a mom. Okay. If you've ever been overwhelmed being a mom, it's because you're like, is this ever going to change? How am I going to raise this tiny human to grow up to be an adult? And you start getting overwhelmed because you start thinking about all these crazy things that you're just changing a diaper. Like, you know, like you're literally just changing a diaper, or your baby's literally just crying because they're teething, but you start overwhelming yourself because you get inside your own head and panicking. Okay. And so the thing that I did and what kept me going is I just remembered why I started. And I remembered that quitting wasn't getting me any closer to accomplishing what was the reason that I started. So I always bring it back to just remembering why I started. And if I ever start feeling like unhappy with my paychecks, if I ever start feeling just frustrated about where my business is going, I remember, dude, you just started for $500. Look at where you are now. Okay. And when I wasn't making $500, I looked at, you're just started for $500 and look at how far you've already come. You just started for $500 and look at what you've already learned. Look at the people that you've already met. Look at the way your mind is already changing and the difference that you've already seen in the way that your mind is working. Because it's so easy to look left and look right, but not look at where you want to go, right? You're looking at this person and this person's joined at the same time as you and they're already a diamond. And this person joined after you and they're already freaking making 2 times as much as you are. You guys, stay focused and stay in your lane, okay? Stop trying to figure it out, okay? Just ask Jesus for what you want. Just ask him for what you want and believe that it's going to get it. And then just keep putting that one foot in front of the other, 1 foot in front of the other, 1 foot in front of the other. Because here's the thing, and this is what I'll say to every single person who is thinking about quitting or has thought about quitting, is if you don't have dreams that you're going after, you will never be happy. What are you living for? What's the purpose? What's your purpose? You don't have one if you have no dreams that you're going after. And so if you have dreams of opening up your own freaking shaved ice spot, do that. But go after a dream. Don't quit and go back to the same position that you were before. But go after a dream. And my whole thing is, I don't care if you become Ambassador Diamond or not. I want you to leave a better person than what you came in. I want you to leave more equipped than when you came in. Okay? To go after those dreams, find those passions that you want. Of course, I would love for you guys to all be ambassador and all be making ridiculous amounts of money and, you know, giving back more than you used to make in a month and doing crazy, crazy things. But that dream might not be for everybody. But whatever your dream is, find it and go after it. Okay. So don't quit unless you have your eye on another dream that this business can't get you. But the cool thing is guys, most dreams, if you want to open your own boutique, you have to have the funds to buy the inventory to open your own boutique. And so this business can be another stream of income that can help you move closer to your dreams. Okay. So this might not be the dream of the dream of the dream. This might be the one road or the bridge that gets you over to that part of the dream. Okay. So just be open to those things and open your mind up to those things. And here's how you know, I want you guys to ask yourself these questions, and because here's how you know if you're not dreaming big enough. Okay. Number 1, are you excited to wake up in the morning? Number 2, are you bored? Number 3, do you have time to do what anyone asks you to do? You're not dreaming big enough if you do. Are you getting plenty of sleep? If you are, you're not dreaming big enough. Do your dreams make sense to everyone around you? If they make sense to everybody, you're not dreaming big enough. They shouldn't make sense to everybody. Sometimes they won't even make sense to you. Can you achieve your dreams by yourself? If you can, they're not big enough. This is the kicker. Can you watch every TV show you have scheduled to watch or the recording? you guys, I had to get myself a gut check on this one because I love watching TV shows. Okay. Like literally, I love it. I get hooked on freaking like series and I am like a binge watcher. I have addictive personality. So like, it's really hard for me to not press next episode. Okay. And so that was like really kind of a gut check for me. So ask yourself that. And, even in the Bible and Proverbs, it says, without a vision, the people will perish. And get yourself a vision, get yourself a dream, y'all. Get yourself a dream that's worthy of getting you excited in the morning. Because if you're not excited when you wake up to go chase that dream, you're not dreaming big enough. You don't care enough about that dream. And something else I heard, it was probably like ESPN, I think, but they said, nothing great has ever happened without enthusiasm. Nothing great has ever happened without enthusiasm. And the quickest way that you can help yourself succeed is by helping other people succeed. That is the quickest way. Okay. So I could like go on and on. This is like my favorite stuff to talk about, but I'm going to start answering some more questions. Did I miss any other questions? Oh, Pam, what are your non-negotiables that you do every single day when you have a day that you don't really feel like doing it? So this is a really good question because I actually have a list that is called my worst day list. So what is like my bare minimum list? Like if my grandpa died, like what is both my grandparents are dead, but something like that. Like if something really bad happened, like what am I still committing to getting done? No matter what happens. And it's not going to be the same as my normal day because we all have those days, y'all. We just all have them. And so, but what is the bare minimum? And so my bare minimum is like one post. It's like one post, adding 25 people, messaging 25 people, and pulling myself off the bed. Okay. Like that's it. And so I encourage you guys to like set that list and give yourself grace. This business is a little bit tricky mentally because if any of you guys played sports or did anything competitive, there's always going to be somebody doing something more or better or longer or working harder than you. Okay. And there's also going to be people who are going to be doing less than you. You just have to decide which end of the spectrum do you want to fall on. Do you want to do like more work than most people or just more work than a little bit of people? Okay. But it's easy to get into that mindset of, I could be doing more. Oh, I could be doing more. I could be doing more because you always can be doing more in this business, right? There's never like an end goal because the journey is what the whole thing is about, right? There's never an end goal. Yeah, you hit certain goals, but before you hit that goal, you should already have the next goal planned out. Okay. So like if your goal is diamond, before you hit diamond, you need to have a double diamond chart out. If your goal is ruby, before you hit ruby, you need to have a diamond chart out or an emerald chart out. Okay. And that is what is going to keep you kind of pushing. But I think it's just very important that you give yourself grace. This was really hard for me to learn because I'm hard on myself. And honestly, in turn, that made me really hard on other people when I first joined the business. Okay. Because I just don't know. Like, I just kind of try not to make excuses because that was ingrained in my head from sports is like, there's no such thing as trying. You either do it or you don't. Okay. Like I honestly even tell my kids that I'm like, okay, well, I tried to not, do this. No, you didn't, you just didn't do it. You did it or you didn't. But I've learned through this business to give myself a lot more grace. And one thing that helped me with that is you guys have probably all heard me say that, but this analogy of, everybody's always juggling multiple things in their life. And, you have the mom ball, you have the wife ball, you have the parenting, the business owner ball. And if you work, you have the, full-time job. And every single day you're going to drop one of those balls. You're going to just feel like, God, I just really sucked as a mom today. Or, oh, I didn't get as much done in my business that I wanted to get done. But you just try not to drop the same ball 2 days in a row. Okay. And when you do that, you learn like, okay, next play, right? Like instead of dwelling and having this Eeyore mentality of, Poor me. I'm not going to sign any customers because I didn't get my messages out and nobody wants to join my team and I haven't been doing enough. And it's like this victim role. You're like a victim to yourself and you're a victim to like your crappy work ethic or whatever you tell yourself that you're not doing. It's just a constant improvement game. I didn't get here, you guys, because I'm perfect. I got here because I was always willing to move on. I never dwelled on my mistakes. I learned and I said, next play, next play, next play. So if you've made mistakes or you've had bad days, next play. You can't control that. You can't go back and redo it. You learn from it and you go on. Okay. And so if you've said something incorrect to a customer or a customer is yelling at you because of TFX hasn't gotten to them, or they're yelling at you because whatever, somebody in your downline, next, you deal with that and you move on. Okay. But you can't let one person or a couple people have control over your future. They don't get to have the rest of your day. They don't get to have the rest of your week. They don't get to have that. Stop giving them that power. Stop giving the power to the person who said no, right? When I joined, Erin said, go for 10 no's a day. I was like, what the hell are you talking about, chick? Like, why would I try to get no's? Okay. She's like, well, you're obviously not trying to get no's, but if you try to set your goal of how many no's you get, then you're going to be talking to enough people, right? Because I know that if I get 10 no's, I'm going to get at least 2 to 3 yeses. If not that day, someday soon. Okay. Because I'm planting those seeds and I'm working towards that. So for me, I've always kind of viewed it as like, it's a numbers game. Whoever talks to the most people wins. And my ratio has gotten a lot better because I feel like I've gotten better and more efficient at talking to people, and people sense confidence. And because I'm really confident in the business now, because I practiced, because I really sucked at conversations when I first started, and I practiced and I got better. And I was like, oh God, I shouldn't have said that to that person. Or, oh, maybe I lost them when I said, auto shipment or commitment, or you're locked into buying for 3 months and they ran the other direction. Maybe I learned, that didn't work. Let me try something different. Right. So that is kind of the thing, is people are going to say no. They say no to me. I get ignored, you guys, but I'm only focusing on the people who say yes. I'm only focusing on the people who are open to hearing this. And so many times you don't realize that God is blocking that. He is blocking that person from joining your business, because all the people that I've tried way too hard to get on my team have all been duds. Okay. Because if I convince them to join, Lord have mercy, were they high maintenance to get them to work. Okay. So stop focusing on the people that you really want. And Gabby said this last night in the training. It was so good. Stop focusing on the people that you feel like could really be good for the business, and start focusing on the people that the business could be good for. And who needs this business? Who needs these products? And how can you help them? And when you have that switch in your brain to, I need to get distributors, I need to get customers, I need to get people on my team, and you start saying, who can I help? And I know that sounds cheesy, because when somebody said that to me the first time, I remember being like, yeah, okay, we all just trying to make $500 here. And I get it, because I felt that way. But like, really think about, like, if I'm helping this person, I'm also helping me. But I get to help this person along the way. Like, it doesn't have to be, just me that I'm helping. I get to help that person too. Okay. And when you see that kind of pattern of, oh my gosh, the more people I help, the higher their paychecks go, the higher my paychecks go, that's when you start really having fun, because you guys can all start dreaming together, and you're creating this community of people who really have goals and dreams and hopes and vision. But it starts with you. It starts with you. You have to have that vision first, and everybody else will follow suit. There is something else. Hold on. That I was going to read you. Okay. It says, God blesses his people so that they can bless those who have yet to be blessed. Godly leaders feel driven by the vision. Maintenance is not the goal. Getting blessed is not the goal. What motivates God's heart is having the leaders who have the vision to, who cast the vision for participating in truly living and not surviving. Okay. And I really want you to think about is what is your vision and how are people joining your team? If they're joining your team and they're not working, it's because you can't say crap to get them to work. It's because you don't understand why they even joined in the first place. You don't understand. You didn't even ask them because you were just trying to get them on their team. Right? But you didn't ask them, what can this business do for you? What do you want to join? Why do you want to join? What can this business help you do? I want to help you get that. And started saying, oh yeah, people need to join my double diamond team. Nobody cares about your double diamond team. They care about their own team. They care about their own paycheck when they first join, right? And so if you have people that haven't joined your business, it's because you're not excited enough about this. It's because you're not excited about what this opportunity can do and you haven't seen the vision. So how is anybody else going to see that this business is going to do something for you? If you can't see that this business is doing something for you and what it can do for you, how is the heck is anybody else going to see it? Start thinking about what this business can do for you and start putting that out there and posting about it and start talking about like, you guys, I just added up all my student loan debt and I have X number of dollars in debt and I cannot wait for this to stop hanging over my head and to watch this business pay off this debt. You know, people are going to start thinking, dang, I need to pay off all my student debt too. I wonder how she's doing that. I cannot wait for this business to start paying for all these diapers and all these wipes. This stuff is so expensive and I feel like I constantly have to grab it out of my savings account, but I can't wait for this business to start paying for all of that. Dang, diapers and wipes are expensive. It would be nice if I had something on the side to do this. You guys see where I'm going? Cast the vision. Tell people what this business is going to do for you. Okay? Like, it is not lying. It is not scamming people. It is not you saying that, oh, I'm a millionaire. It is you telling people what your intention for joining this business was. Why did you join? And you are crazy if you think you don't have a story yet. You are literally crazy because you have a story. Your story is why you joined. Your story is why you joined. And if you plan on making any money in the business, other people are going to be inspired by that because you were brave enough to even say yes in the first place. You were brave enough to even say yes in the first place. And that means you had a strong reason why you wanted to join because it's scary to press submit. And so don't diminish the fact that your story is your story. Your story might not be my story and it shouldn't be, which is amazing, which is why your story needs to be told. Okay. And because somebody is not going to relate to my story, but they're going to relate to your story. I remember feeling like that when I first joined because I felt like I feel guilty for wanting so much when so many people started on welfare. So many people that started this business have these, horrible backgrounds, but they've gone from rags to riches, right? But start talking about how you're surviving and you want to thrive. So don't just think you're only worthy if you have this rags to riches story. You're worthy if you're surviving right now, but you want to start thriving and you want to start truly living. Okay, next question before I just keep going, or if you'd have any more. I know I just literally, I don't know. This is, Annie, this is just what happens.
No, and it's what we expect. Honestly, you basically covered everything on my end because I did want everyone to hear it from you, especially being where you are right now, top rank, crazy. So I don't know, I just feel so blessed and I do believe that God did place this business in our lives for every reason that we can account for. I do hope and pray that everyone takes this and runs with it. But I want to open it maybe 2 or 3 more minutes, and I just want to do an open floor to everyone, see if they have anything to say. But otherwise, Kelsey, I know I'm not sure if you're comfortable with this, but I was hoping if you could just pray
Yeah,
for
I would
us.
love to do that.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if everyone's super religious, but I do believe that God is the reason why I'm here. Like Kelsey, I was one of her cold messages, guys. That's how I joined. But I followed her. And because of that message, I knew that God was like, yeah, this is something that you need to look into. And so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and you guys can unmute yourself too. It's if you want to ask a question. I did want you guys to write this down. If you guys have a pen and paper, this is one of the affirmations that I say to myself. Admittedly, inconsistently, but I'm trying to get better. So, but it says, I embrace fear. I embrace fear because for me, it's an indicator that God is calling me to do something bigger. So I embrace fear because for me, it's an indicator that God is calling me to do something bigger. My faith calms my fears. And no fears are greater than my dreams. I'm going to say it again just to make sure you guys got it. I embrace fear because for me, it's an indicator that God is calling me to do something bigger. My faith calms my fears, and no fears are greater than my dreams. Okay, any questions? I made Nana cry. No, I'm just kidding. I saw you wiping your eyes. I know you aren't crying. That was funny. Okay, if not, I will pray over you guys. And I'm so just humbled and honored that you guys called me to be on here. And thank you for asking me, Annie. I am so excited for where you guys are going as a team. It's so crazy to watch just everybody's journey unfold and see all of you guys just freaking killing it. I see all of your names in eSuite because I know they're your guys's because I can't pronounce them. And you guys are just freaking awesome. And I'm so proud of all of you. And I hope you guys do know that because I do mean that. Okay, so dear Jesus, we just come to you today and we just want to say thank you so much for placing Annie in my life and then consequently placing every single person in her downline in my path as well. I hope that just one thing I said today sticks out and helps their hearts and helps their dreams and helps them get a clearer vision for what you have called for them to do. We also want to pray that you help them keep their order straight. The order is you first, their family and their husband second, their kids third, and this business next. And we just ask that you help them keep that order. And we ask you to help calm our fears. Give us the vision, give us it so clearly that we can see it, and let us not be discouraged by anybody that is put in our path that doesn't see the vision. Let us view that as just reassurance that where we are going is not for everybody, and where we are going is someplace that you have called us to. And we just ask that you continue to give us abundance in our business and give us abundance with our finances and give us abundance just with our happiness and with our health. And we just want to say thank you for everything that you already have given us. And we know that this is just the beginning. And we want to ask that you enlarge our territory and bless us indeed, because we know that you're capable and greater. You're capable to do anything greater than we have asked already. And so we're excited to see where you take us and where the future of this business and in our lives take us. And in your name, we pray all of this. Amen.
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 Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. I'm